Good morning. I'm Megan Western. We are coming to you with breaking news this morning. Right now, we're working to learn more details about an officer being shot in Warner Robins. Houston County Sheriff Matt Moulton confirming this to us. We don't have many details, but here's what we do know right now. Officials say that a suspect is barricaded inside of a home. The Warner Robins Police Department says it happened somewhere at a home on Rose Street. That's about a block away from Robins Air Force Base. We're talking not that far from the Haven Hope House on Green Street, the city's new homeless shelter. You are asked to avoid this area right now. We've also heard that a SWAT team is on the way there. Officials say there's no threat to the public at this time. Right now, we don't know the name or the condition of the officer, but we can tell you the Houston County Coroner, James Williams, says that he has not been called out to the scene. We're also working to learn if there have been any other victims and how and when this standoff started. We've also reached out to the GBI, the Warner Robins Police Department, Houston County Sheriff to get more details. We are working with all of them closely right now. We can tell you that someone with the GBI has confirmed that they've been called out to help. Right now, we're going to go ahead and send things out to Naomi Washington, who's alive. Naomi, go ahead and tell us what you're hearing and seeing right now.
Hey Megan, yeah, it's a pretty fluid scene out here. We're on the corner of Green and Booker Street, and we're right next to the Haven Hope House. They have us backed up all the way to this location, but as you can see over my shoulder, there's dozens of law enforcement cars. We've seen the SWAT vans coming in and out of this street as well. Now, just as you said before, and we just got off the phone with Sheriff Matt Moulton, he did confirm to us that a Warner Robins police officer has been shot. He's been transported to a local hospital, and the one thing he told us is that they would appreciate all the prayers at this time. We're gonna zoom in a little more at the scene just to give you a better look at what we're seeing. Lots of cars over there, a fire truck over there. He also said that they're currently trying to be in talks with the person who has barricaded themselves inside of the house over there. We're working to find out for you all of the events that led up to this shooting. That's what we don't know right now. We don't know the condition of the officer who was shot, and we also don't know his identity, but we're gonna stick around and learn more as we can. One of the officers here told me that they are going to send someone from the Warner Robins Police Department over to give us some more information soon. All right, I'm live in Warner Robins. Naomi Washington, 13 WMAZ News.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Naomi. Just again to recap for you, right now we are working to learn more information about a Warner Robins police officer shot just off of Green Street. This is the area around Rose Street, not far from Robins Air Force Base, again not far from the Haven Hope House. Dozens of different officers from the Warner Robins PD, the SWAT team, the GBI, and Houston County Sheriff's Office are out there working this right now. It looked like Sheriff Matt Moulton might have even been in Naomi's shot right now. We're going to continue to bring you the latest information as all the details start to come in right now over on 13 WMAZ Plus. You can download it on your Roku, your Fire, or your Apple TV, and you can stream with us right now for all the latest updates. Download it for free and watch right now. Thanks so much for joining us over here on 13 WMAZ Plus. I'm Megan Western. As you join us, we are working to learn more information after an officer was shot in Warner Robins. Houston County Sheriff Matt Moulton confirming this to us. We don't know a lot of details, but here's what I can tell you right now. We know that officials say a suspect is barricaded inside of a home. The Warner Robins Police Department says it happened at a home on Rose Street. That's about a block away from Green Street. Think the area around Robins Air Force Base, very close to the Haven Hope House that's the city's new homeless shelter. If you're in this area, you are asked to try and avoid it. If you're headed there, again, avoid this area. We did see some SWAT arriving there just a few minutes ago. Officials say there's no threat to the public at this time. There's other information that we're working to get you right now. We don't know the name or the condition of this officer, but we can tell you the Houston County Coroner James Williams said he's not been called out to this area. We're also working to learn if there are any other suspects and how and when this standoff started. Of course, we reached out to the GBI, the Warner Robins Police Department. We're also working closely with the Houston County Sheriff's Office to get additional details for you right now. Someone with the GBI did confirm to us that they have been called out to help. Right now, we're going to send things out to Naomi Washington, who's live right outside the Haven Hope House. Naomi, what can you tell us about what you're hearing and seeing right now?
Hey Megan, yeah, they have us all the way backed up to the street of Green and Booker Street, but like you just said, it's happening down in this neighborhood that I'm standing next to. We just got off the phone a few minutes ago with Sheriff Matt Moulton, and he confirmed to us that a Warner Robins police officer was shot. I just want to show you how many cars and how much response is here on the scene. I can see about a dozen cars and trucks and even a fire truck, but it seems that there are even more further down the street that we can barely see. Now, from what we know, the suspect has barricaded themselves inside of a house. We're unsure how many people are actually involved in this situation, and we have seen SWAT team vans and cars arriving on the scene. We're still trying to find out the events that led up to this shooting, the condition of the officer who was shot, but from Sheriff Matt Moulton, we know that he was transported to a local hospital. Now, as far as information right now, it's just we have to just see what's going on at this time. They did tell us that someone will come over to provide more information, but all Moulton kind of left us with on the phone, that 1-minute phone call we had with him, that they would appreciate a lot of prayers for that Warner Robins police officer who was shot. Again, it's happening down on Rose Street. You can probably see it down there, and they have us backed all the way up. We're probably about a block or two away from where things are actually happening, and we're right next to the Haven Hope House here in Warner Robins. I can kind of see some officers just standing and gathering, having conversations, and I see an officer kind of walking in our direction now. Just a lot of cars, a lot of lights, and there's not really much that they can share with us beyond what we know at this time. Hello. I'm just gonna let you guys take a good look at what we're seeing here. Hello. We've got cars coming in and out of this corner here that we're standing on, so we do have to be careful and make sure that we're not in the way of the work that they're trying to do.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Naomi. As we take a look at this, I also just wanted to chime in that Naomi was saying earlier, they believe that they were going to be still communicating with that victim that is barricaded inside the house. I've also been taking a look on social media. We did, of course, put out this post that the police are still actively on the scene asking for prayers right now. Many of you in the comments already sending condolences and prayers to the family. Again, we don't know the condition of the officer. All we do know, like Naomi said, is that they have been transported to a local hospital. Also right now working to learn the name name of the officer that has been shot. Also working to learn if there's been any other victims involved in this shooting. Many of you in the comments looking for more information. We'll be continuing to be live right here on 13 WMAZ Plus, actively working to get you those details. Just a reminder about what we know right now. Aside from a man being barricaded inside the house, we are being told by Warner Robins police that there's no threat to the public at this time. But as you saw, there was dozens of officers out there right now. They are asking that you avoid this area. Again, this is not far from Robins Air Force Base, very close to the Haven Hope House, the city's latest homeless shelter. We are going to send things back out to Naomi, Washington here just to go ahead and get another look at the scene as more officers are making their way. GBI, Houston County Sheriff, and Warner Robins. Naomi, is there anything else that you can tell us at this time?
Hey, Megan. Yeah, not much more that I can tell you more than we know right now. It's just a very fluid scene out here. There's been cars coming in and out of this street that we're standing on at this time. We're right next to the Haven Hope House. We're at the corner of Green and Booker Street, and all we can see from this corner that they have us backed away to is officers talking and cars coming in and out. I'll step out the way for you again. I see some cars moving down there, but from what we know still, it's one Warner Robins police officer was shot, and he was just recently transported to a local hospital. We're trying to figure out the events that led up to this. There's been a few people walking by trying to get into the neighborhood, but they're not letting anybody past the point that you see us standing at right now. I have reporter Elizabeth Hunter with me, and I'm gonna hand it off to her because she actually had a conversation with Sheriff Matt Moulton just a few minutes ago.
That's right, Naomi. I talked with Sheriff Matt Moulton around 10 o'clock when I arrived and asked him kind of about what was going on at the scene. He said it's a very fluid scene. They have people coming in and out. Their SWAT team arrived on scene not too long ago, and they've been trying to negotiate with the suspect. He said they do know who the suspect is. They have the name of the suspect, but he does not want to share the name of that person at this time. I also asked him if there was anyone else in the home. He said that he does not feel comfortable sharing that information and that he just arrived on the scene not long before we did. I also asked him, what the details were of the police officer that was shot, and he said that he does not feel comfortable sharing a name or the injuries that were sustained when he was shot, but that he is at that local hospital and he is getting treated. As you can see, there are about 20 or so law enforcement and other officials on scene, and we have been keeping an eye on what the SWAT team has been doing. They have been walking around with their rifles loaded, and it seems like they have pulled out of the middle of the street and moved closer to the home. The home is on the right side of the street, so we can't get a good look at the home right now, but the SWAT team did move closer to that home to try and negotiate, which is what Sheriff Matt Moulton told us they were trying to do to hopefully avoid any more shots being fired and anyone else being injured. And that's all we know at this time.
Alrighty, thank you so much, guys.
We're just going to give you
taking a look out there at that scene. Just to recap again, Elizabeth just gave us very good information that deputies from the SWAT team are working right now to negotiate with the suspect who is barricaded inside the home. Right now, they say that deputies do know who that suspect is, but as far as names go, be it the suspect or the victim, those names are not being released at this time. As far as the condition of the officer, they are not updating us on the suspect. All we know right now is that they're at a local hospital. If you take a look at this map, just to reiterate, this is where this is happening right now. This is happening at a home on Rose Street. Our crews were off of Green Street, right next to the Haven Hope House. This is not far from where Rose Street is. You'll also notice that this is not far from Robins Air Force Base. You see the base right there on your right-hand side. So this is very close to Robins Air Force Base, very close to the Haven Hope House, the city's new homeless shelter. That's where Naomi and Elizabeth are right now. Again, we are still working to learn if there are other people inside the house, as the suspect has barricaded himself inside. We also know that there are several agencies out there that have been called out. The GBI is out there right now. We have reached out to them. We're working to get more details from them as well. We can also let you know that the Houston County Coroner, James Williams, has not been called out to the scene at this point. So they are asking for continued prayers. Many of you in our comments right now already praying for that officer who has been shot. Let's go ahead and get another check in on what can be seen and heard with Naomi Washington. Naomi.
Hey Megan, yeah, still just a lot of different cars and officers out here. I was taking a closer look when we had the camera zoomed in, and it looks like a lot of officers are out of the cars walking around. From what I could count, definitely more than 15 people out there examining what is going on. Now, to recap you, we're on the corner of Green and Booker Street. We're right next to the Haven Hope House, and we're about a block and probably a block and a half away from where things are actually taking place. We did talk on the phone with Sheriff Matt Moulton, and he confirmed to us that a Warner Robins police officer has been shot. Now, we're going to give you a closer look again at the scene. We're going to try to get as close as we can so you can really see what was going on. From what we can tell right now, the suspect has barricaded themselves inside of the house. That's what Sheriff Matt Moulton told us. We're unsure how many people were involved in the situation. Again, I can probably see about a dozen cars from where I'm standing, but further up that street, there's a lot more. There's a lot of people on this scene, and cars keep coming past us to get on and off of this street right now. So the officers that are near us can't share information. So what we know is from Sheriff Matt Moulton. Hopefully him or someone else from the team will come give us more details soon. But what we're looking to find out for you, and we're going to stay out here to find out for you, is the events that led up to the shooting and the condition of the officer who was shot. Just want to give you a closer look. You can probably see those people walking around. And again, our reporter Elizabeth Hunter spoke to Moulton not too long ago, and I'm going to hand things over to her to talk about that call that she had with him and the information he could and couldn't share.
Yes, Naomi, I got here around 10 and immediately called Sheriff Matt Moulton, who has been on scene. He said he didn't arrive much longer before we did, but that they were able to confirm that a Warner Robins police officer was shot. He did not want to confirm where he was shot or his condition. He also was able to confirm that the SWAT team was on scene and that they were negotiating with the suspect. He said they do know who the suspect is, but he did not want to share a name. So the SWAT team just moments ago was parked in the middle of the street, and they have actually moved more to the right side of the street where you actually can't see them anymore. On the right side of the street is where the home is, and it looks like they have moved into more negotiations, as Matt Moulton said, that they were going to try to do to de-escalate the situation and hopefully come out of this without any more injuries on the officer side or on the side of the suspect. We're just giving you a closer look at what we can see. As you can see, there's a bunch of officers gathered around the police cars. The SWAT team has moved more into position on the right side of the street. Sheriff Matt Moulton is still on scene. And Megan, I think that's all we know right now, but we're going to keep trying to gather information while we're out here on the corner, and hopefully we'll be able to speak to a Warner Robins police officer soon about the circumstances.
Alrighty, thank you so much, guys. We'll check in with you in just a few minutes. I do just want to remind everyone that as we're working to gather information and police and deputies are out there working that scene right now, your information is also very vital. If you have any information or you know any details about what might have led up to this, you can always contact Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. You can give them a call at 1-800 or 478, excuse me, 302-530 or 80. That's where you can give them a call. Macon Regional Crime Stoppers, Warner Robins Police is asking that you send them information. You may also know that number as 1-877-68-CRIME. We say that to you a lot. You can always call that phone number to Macon Regional Crime Stoppers, 1-877-68-CRIME, to send out any information that you may know. Just to reiterate what Naomi and Elizabeth have been sharing with us, the sheriff's office does say they are aware of the suspect at this time. However, they are not releasing that person's name. We are still working to learn right now the condition of the officer. Now, we do know that the officer is receiving treatment right now at a local hospital. You are asked to avoid the area. Again, this is happening over on Rose Street. You are seeing our team right off of Green Street. This is not far from Robins Air Force Base. Our team right now is being asked to position themselves in front of the Haven Hope House. Here's a map for you. Take a look at your screen so you can get a better picture of where all of this is happening. So the shooting is happening on Rose Street. Again, you'll see right above that is Green Street. That's kind of where our team is positioned, not very far from Robins Air Force Base. So if you had plans to head to this area, you're asked to go ahead and avoid it right now. We are, again, being told that there's no threat to the public, so there's no need to have any fear or worry. This is contained. Lots of officers out there right now. You saw all the deputies, Warner Robins Police, even a SWAT team, as you saw out there. Elizabeth said they kind of moved out of the frame, but they are out there right now trying to negotiate with the person who has themselves barricaded inside the home. Another thing that we're working right now to figure out is if there's other people inside the home. Right now, authorities not confirming that information either. Of course, we're also calling out to the GBI right now. They have confirmed that they are also out there investigating. Let's go ahead and check in on Naomi Washington to see how things are looking. Naomi.
Hey Megan, the only thing different from the last time that we spoke with you is I've seen a lot more cars that are passing by on the road, slowing down to see what is going on. But again, officers that are right up here beside us just want to keep everybody up here where we are on the corner of Booker and Green Street, and we're right next to the Haven Hope House here in Warner Robins. They're telling us to move a little bit back again, but I'm gonna give you a closer look at the scene. A lot of cars out here still, a lot of officers out here still, but no additional new information quite yet. Here's a recap of what we do know. Sheriff Matt Moulton confirms an officer was shot. A Warner Robins police officer was shot, and the suspect has barricaded themselves inside of a house. Now, we're not quite sure how many people are actually involved in this situation, but he did tell us that that officer was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He did add that they're just asking for all the prayers right now for that member of the team. And I'm just taking a good look at what I can see. It looks like the number of officers and people are kind of growing and they're just moving around. But what we're trying to find out for you are the events that led up to the shooting. Again, how many people were involved, the condition of the officer who was shot. Our reporter Elizabeth Hunter spoke with Sheriff Matt Moulton, and he told her that they do know the identity of the suspect, but they didn't want to share that. And he didn't want to share much more detail on the condition of the officer who was shot. Again, they just have us back here on this corner. They want to keep this scene contained because it is still very fluid and very active. There's an officer coming now to put some tape up on the scene to continue to keep us back. Sheriff Matt Moulton said that earlier when we were on the phone with him that they're trying to negotiate with the person who is barricaded in the home. And they just want everybody who's at home to continue to avoid this area, an area to avoid, and we will keep you updated on what's happening here on the scene. There's some cars moving now. We're gonna zoom in a little more so that you can really see what's going on. There's two police cars coming toward us right now to leave this street. So we're going to be careful as they pass us. These are Warner Robins police cars, 2 of them. But there probably are other law enforcement agencies out here helping with whatever else is going on. You can see a fire truck here. And they're just trying to keep the scene contained, it seems. Again, a recap for those of you who are just joining us. We spoke on the phone with Sheriff Matt Moulton, and he confirmed that a Warner Robins police officer has been shot. The suspect has barricaded themselves inside of a house, the house that most of them are gathered around up the block. And we're unsure how many people are actually involved in this situation, but Sheriff Moulton said that they transported the officer who was shot to a local hospital for treatment. He didn't feel comfortable giving any more details on the injuries that he sustained. We're gonna zoom in more so that you can really see what is going on here. It's a very fluid scene. And we don't have many more facts to share with you, but what we can tell you is that it's unclear how long this is gonna go on because of how much is happening. We're gonna keep the camera on what is going on. We're unsure if those negotiations that Sheriff Moulton referenced with us on the phone are still happening, but another car just rolled in to park. And right now they're just walking around and talking. More cars behind me. They're passing by on the road, slowing down to try to see what happens. But again, they want you all to avoid what is happening here. They want to avoid any other potential injuries on the law enforcement side or the other side of the situation that has happened. And they have us backed up all the way on the corner of Green Street and Booker Street. We're right next to the Haven Hope House. Having to scoot out the way some because there's another truck coming in right now. And 3 more officers just parked and are walking toward the scene. And another car driving in. Now these last 2 cars that just drove in are not marked, so we're not quite sure which agency they're with. But they're not letting anybody except for law enforcement and officials to enter beyond where we're standing on the corner of the Haven Hope House. All right, for now, Megan, I'm gonna send it back to you. Maybe we can get some more details as we wait a few more minutes.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Naomi, for being out there and being our eyes and ears on the ground right now, as well as our reporter Elizabeth Hunter. They're going to continue to stay out there throughout the day to work to gather some more of that information for us. I just want to remind you that while we're working to gather more information, and although there are many agencies and officers and deputies that are out there, they also are asking for you to share any information that you may know. You can reach out to the Warner Robins Police Department. You can also go ahead and contact Macon Regional Crime Stoppers with any information you may have. That number on the bottom of your screen, 1-877-68-CRIME. Again, it is on the bottom of your screen. We'll leave it up here so you can get a look at it. In case you have any information, you can also contact them anonymously if you do know what led up to this standoff. Just a reminder, this is a very active standoff right now. That suspect still barricaded inside of the home right now. Authorities not confirming if there are other people inside the home with the suspect who is barricaded inside. Other information that we do know right now, we can confirm, according to Sheriff Matt Moulton, there is a Warner Robins police officer who has been shot. They have been taken to get some treatment at a local hospital. Here's that information for you right here. Officials do tell us they are aware of the suspect and they do know the suspect's name. However, they are not releasing that information at this time. Right now, we also can tell you that there is SWAT teams who are on the scene. The GBI has been called in. The SWAT negotiators are actively working to speak to the suspect who is barricaded inside of the home. Of course, within the next few hours, we're going to continue to work to get the suspect's name. We're also going to work to figure out the name of the deputy or the police officer, excuse me, and their condition. I think we're going to go ahead and get one more look out there right now with Naomi Washington. Naomi.
Hey, Megan. Yeah, just a few seconds ago, the GBI just pulled in. I'm going to give you a look at the truck now, actually. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the crime scene unit, has pulled in for what is going on in some other law enforcement cars behind it. It's still a very fluid scene. We knew that the GBI was called out to help with what is going on, but we've just now seen them pull in to the scene. Now I've seen Warner Robins police cars. We just saw the GBI. We see an ambulance out here. And we also, Elizabeth Hunter pointed out to me that we've seen SWAT team members walking around with what appears to be loaded guns. Now, you can see a lot of officers are out in the car, out of their cars, to talk about what exactly is going on. But just a recap for those of you who are just joining us, we confirmed with Sheriff Matt Moulton that a Warner Robins police officer was shot. The suspect has barricaded themselves inside of a house, and that's where all the cars are gathered. He says that they're negotiating with the people involved in this situation. However, that Warner Robins police officer who was injured in the situation was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He didn't want to expand more on the injuries that he sustained or the current condition that he's in. Now, as far as the suspect goes, Sheriff Matt Moulton did share that they have identified the person, but they don't feel comfortable sharing that just yet. The GBI did just pull in. I haven't seen anybody get out of that car yet, but I'm assuming it'll be just seconds before they do and get out and join the effort that these other law enforcement agencies have made so far. From the moment I arrived here on the scene, it's been very fluid, just like you're seeing. Lots of cars, probably 24 law enforcement cars here. They have us backed up at Green Street and Booker Street, this corner, and they have us right next to the Haven Hope House. We've had to stay kind of on the corner of at an angle because there are cars coming on and off the street over and over again, getting to the scene, from the scene. If I had to guess how many officers and people I could see, I would definitely say more than 10 people down there. Again, a Warner Robins police officer has been shot. That's what Sheriff Matt Moulton confirmed with us. He's been transported to a local hospital. The one thing he added was that they just need all the prayers possible over the condition of the officer, but he did not want to expand upon the injuries he sustained or his current condition. There's a lot of cars behind us on this block that are reporter Elizabeth Hunter just pointed out that there's an Emory Healthcare car up there by the scene. And I'm actually gonna hand it over to her and she can talk a little bit more about what she just saw.
Yes, as I was standing here just trying to get a better look at what was happening from this corner, there is an Emory Healthcare SUV parked just behind what looks like a Warner Robins police car. There's also a big group of probably about 24 officers gathered around a truck. talking about it. And as I talked to Matt Moulton this morning around 10 a.m., he told me that their SWAT team is actively working to de-escalate the situation. The SWAT team was parked in the middle of the street, but they have since moved further down the street and to the right where we can't quite get a good view with our cameras. But we can see Sheriff Matt Moulton. He is still on scene, and we are trying to get back in touch with him to get further information. When I talked to him earlier, he did not want to release the name of the suspect that was barricaded in his home, and he also did not feel comfortable sharing the details of the Warner Robins police officer that had been shot. The SWAT vehicle moved further down the road to the right side, closer to the residence, as Sheriff Matt Moulton said, to negotiate and try to de-escalate the situation and keep from any other officers or the suspect from being shot. And there's another officer heading down that way. As we've said, it's a very fluid scene, cars coming in and out. They're keeping us on the corner by Haven Hope House to keep us safe and make sure that they can move in and out with ease, as this scene is still an active scene. That's why Sheriff Matt Moulton said that he did not want to give very many details. I also talked with Warner Robins City Clerk Mandy Stella on the phone, and she said that once the scene calms down, they are planning for a Warner Robins police officer to come and speak with us. But while the scene is still active and they're trying to de-escalate the situation, they are focused all hands on that at the moment. Megan, that's all we have right now. I'm going to toss it back to you so we can try and get back in touch with Matt Moulton, see if we can get some more details.
Alrighty, thank you guys for all of that good information and for giving us a closer look at that scene. Again, we are going to continue to work throughout the day to get more of that information for you. As Elizabeth stated, we are expecting to hear from Warner Robins Police later in the day. However, this is a very active standoff. Deputies are still negotiating with the person barricaded inside of the home. So once this comes to an end, we are expecting to hear from law enforcement. One last recap for you. Right now, we do know that a Warner Robins police officer has been shot. They are getting treatment right now at a local hospital. We do not know the name of that officer. Here's all the information for you right here on your screen. We are also working to learn right now if there are any other additional people inside of the home where that man is barricaded. Officials are aware of the suspect. They do know the suspect's name. However, that is information they have not yet released. Several agencies who are currently working this area, you saw many of them. There is a SWAT team, as Elizabeth made mention of. The GBI is currently out there. We saw an Emory healthcare truck out there. We saw one of the GBI's trucks, and we've seen several officials out there. We were able to see Chief Wayne Fisher out there, as well as Sheriff Matt Moulton. So lots of hands are going into working this right now. We're going to continue to update you throughout the day. We'll come back with more information on 13 WMAZ Plus as we get more information. Don't forget that if you are maybe watching us on live on Facebook or somewhere else, that if you download the 13 WMAZ Plus app, that is where we will continue to provide you with live coverage. You can download it on your Roku, your Amazon Fire, or your Apple TV, and you can watch us for free. Again, we'll be back as we get more information.